And hello, everybody. It's Wednesday. Man, I can't keep track of what day of the week it is anymore, but it is Wednesday, which means football starts again tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri plays Memphis this week. We're going to beat them in St. Louis. We're going to move to 4-0, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. And then we're going to beat Vandy, and then we're going to be 5-0 going into the LSU game. And that's going to be a glorious game at the zoo. I can't wait. Putting the horse in front of the carriage. Now, who's your team, Shelley?
So I wish you all the luck. We are NFL football family. So my husband loves the 49ers, and I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, man, the Giants. Whew, at least they scored. Well, they won, actually. They beat the Arizona Cardinals.
They took a long time to get to the end and get ahead, but we did it. We pulled it out.
Man, that first game. Whew.
I know.
Oh, rough. Wow.
We play each other tomorrow, actually, my husband and my.
Oh, yeah. Because I've seen the commercial
tomorrow,
from Pluto TV. That's right. Because who is it? Marshawn Lynch or somebody that like pulls the trigger on the commercial console. Yeah. 49ers.
Yeah. So one of us will be happy, the other will be sad.
I can't stand the Rams, so I'm a 49ers, Seahawks, and Arizona Cardinals fan by default.
Okay.
My dad hates it. I'm sure my dad's probably tuned in. My dad's a Facebook fiend, and he always happens to peep in, and he works for the Rams. So shout out, sorry, and you guys didn't win this past week either. So okay, they played the 49ers. They softened them up for you guys.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so we are going to get ready to talk about this is going to be a fun one, everybody. Staycation, because Shelley's down in Florida. Let me hit this real quick. Where's the button? Should know how to do this by now. Yeah, I told my wife we published our 2,450th show yesterday.
Oh,
you count all the like ones that I never counted back in the day with all the large ones. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, we appreciate them.
I've spent a lot of time talking into a microphone in the basement. That's all that means. Oh, turn on comments. Nope. Waving out to Disney. We can wave to William out at Disneyland. Hey, William, go let's see. It's almost dinner time out there. How about it'd be hard to get into Blue Bayou, the place back in Frontierland that I like so much.
Okay.
Hungry Bear. Love that place. Good chicken sandwich. I'm simple. I don't need fancy. Okay, here we go. We'll get cracking here. So this will be Monday, and the show number is the last thing I need to get. This down. A little whiteboard. It'd be. Got these out of order. Wait, that's 2356. Wait, why do I not have this one? So we're at 2357. 2358, 235. Hang on. I'm just going to do this the right way so I don't confuse myself. Let me go to the episode list. I think it's 2360. It is. 2360. All right. Oh, churro time. You win. Oh, man. And go Pirate. Rock on. You're doing it right, William. Have fun. Say hello to the Barker bird. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2360 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend and glad you're back with us for another fun trip report. I got out of Toy Story Land on Friday. We were trapped in Toy Story Land. We talked all about it with Pam and Ricky. Hopefully you enjoyed that show. Let me know on the social media because we did that series long ago and decided to bring it back on Friday to kind of explore that specific part of a Disney theme park. So just give us some feedback. What'd you think? It was kind of fun for us, but if it's not fun for you, we'll just throw it in the trash can. We'll do something different next time around. But today we're going to have a fun trip report. It's a very different trip report because our guest is going to travel to Walt Disney World from this town that I bet you've heard of, It's called Orlando, Florida. So Shelly's joining us from the place we all want to be. Shelly, happy Monday. What's going on?
Happy Monday. Nothing much, nothing much. Just enjoying the day, enjoying the rainy Florida weather, but we're doing good.
You're in the place a lot of us would like to be. So hot summer. How is it being a local down there? What's the latest?
Oh, it's wonderful with the bear was here
That's true.
on
Yeah,
Monday.
that's true. The bear, because I have friends that live. I mean, they live right behind the Magic Kingdom. Their subdivision
Mhm.
is right behind the Magic, and they say they've seen that bear like in their neighborhood. So
Oh, no way.
they think they know the actual. But I mean, they're not friends with the bear, but they think they actually have seen that bear roaming their neighborhood. They think that was the bear, which he's now gone.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, yeah, I was telling my wife when she came home from school that day, because she's a fourth grade school teacher. I was like, well, how was your day? I was like, and I just cut her off. I'm like, let me say about my day. I'm just trying to get my day started. People needing quotes, people need modifications. There's a discount that came out. Of course, everybody's trying to book the Disney Treasure. It's super busy. And I'm scanning social media in a separate window. And I see that like 12 attractions are down in the Magic Kingdom. So I'm like, man, the power must have gone out or something. And, it like there must be a substation out or something. And then I see there's a bear loose in the Magic Kingdom. So immediately my mind goes to like, it's not like a bear's in a tree. My mind goes to like there is a bear like chasing somebody, between, I don't know, between like Big Thunder Mountain and Tom Sawyer Island. Everybody's jumping into the rivers of America. I had this whole like story in my head. I was like, it wasn't that exciting, but yeah, people were not happy because there was a bear on the loose, but it was, yeah,
I know.
that's what we expected to see your morning start. But yeah, so stay safe down there. Apparently, get some bear spray.
Right, right. Luckily, we've never seen one at our house. My husband's a cast member though, and he texted me and said, "There's a bear in Magic Kingdom." So I get on all the media platforms, and I guess it was just really early news because no one was talking about it yet. And he said, "No, I swear there is one." And sure enough, within a few hours, it was coming through everybody. So
That's
crazy.
one of those. That's one of those texts I always screenshot just so that I could, 7 years later, I could have like the timestamp.
Mhm.
This was real. Like, Time Hop or, Google Photos will come back with, Facebook on this
Mhm.
day. Oh my God,
Yeah.
on this day 7 years ago, there was a bear in the Magic Kingdom. What? Yeah, there was for real. Anyway, so you're in Orlando now, but of course, everybody from Orlando, not originally from Orlando for the most part, from what I've heard.
Mhm.
So how did you get down there? Because I think many, many of our listeners kind of have an end goal to maybe end up in Orlando at some point.
Yeah, so we are the dream. Maybe this will inspire someone, but we have been fans for a long, long time. Me for most of my life. We started coming down together for our honeymoon. Was our first trip together down to Disney World. That was my first time ever staying on property. And, we're the typical story. We started going and going more and more and more, and annual passes and all those different things. And always would talk about moving, but more in a, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? We would love it kind of way. And our trip in around February of 2022, we were doing that same conversation. We were at the Rose and Crown for dinner, our last night of vacation. And we were having that hypothetical dream kind of convo. And, the world changed so much with COVID and the pandemic. My job had gone completely remote. And it just kind of sparked. And I said, well, wait, maybe we can do this. And one thing led to another. Long story short, talked to my boss at work and got the green light to move out of the area, but still keep my job. And within 2 months, we were here. And so we've been here for about a year and a half now. It's wonderful.
That's wild. Okay, just a few questions on it. First of all, what was like the thing that got you so enamored with Walt Disney World Resort as a whole? Because you went there for your honeymoon. And
Mhm.
I think there's different things that draw us in, because I mean, obviously I've done this now. I help people plan vacations for a living. I do my podcast. I was a school teacher and I totally changed my profession in life because of my experiences at the parks. But what was it for you that kind of got you hooked first of all? And then I got a couple follow-ups.
Yeah, so I grew up with, as a lot of people do, with Disney and the movies and the Disney Channel and all that. My family would vacation to the beach. Daytona was kind of our spot when I was growing up, and we would take a day to come to Magic Kingdom Park. And to me, that was Disney World. I kind of knew that the other parks existed as a kid, but we went to Epcot a couple of times, but never any of the others. I don't know. It's just part of my life, part of my childhood. I can't imagine my life without Disney. And I think from the time we started coming as a couple, my husband and I, it was a sense of comfort to kind of know enough about where we were going that it didn't feel crazy when we came to, it was just something that became comfortable. We kind of got in our heads that we wanted to try the different resorts, and so we would kind of hop around and do a new resort each time. And the idea of being able to have that, level of comfort and a little bit of, we've done this before, but also there's a bunch that we haven't
Yeah.
done, and it just became our place. I mean, we've gone to a few other places, traveled a few other places. We've done a Disney cruise. We've gone to New York City. We've been out to California and did San Francisco and others, but we always would just come back to, we like the parks. We like what it offers. And again, like that sense of familiarity, but also getting to do something new every time.
No, you said it so well. You just summed it because I'm sitting here thinking you're saying what's in my brain is that you can go to Walt Disney World and have a new experience, yet the planning, you know how to plan for the trip, right? Like if I want to go to New York, I've never been up in the Northeast. I've never been to New York City. I'd be such a fish out of water when it came to planning a trip there. I wouldn't know. You want to go to Chicago, I've been there a few times. It's just there's so many dynamics that there's so many loose wheels. Like I've been to Walt Disney World, so I know how to, plan my dinners, how to book my hotel, get my theme park. But I can go to a new hotel down there. I can try new restaurants. I can go do new attractions. So I can have new experiences there. But I'm still comfortable with the overall experience. Like you said, I think you nailed it on the head. It's comfortable, yet you can have a lot of new things at the same destination. You know how to travel there. You're comfortable with that. I love how you said that. Now, let me ask you, because I want to make sure we talk about your staycation for the most part. But real quick, one other thing, because if I don't ask this, I think people will, kind of scream at me here. But what are the mechanics like? That night you're sitting in Rosencrantz, you decide to do this. You talk to your boss gives you the green light. But I mean, there's a lot to get done. I mean, in a nutshell, how hard was it to pick up from your previous location and actually physically make the move to Orlando? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider, obviously, but I mean, all in all, was it more difficult, less difficult? What do you think?
I look back now and I think, wow, how did we do this? Because it was a
So
lot. It was
daunting.
just a
Yeah.
lot of things having to fall into place. But, as many of us are listening to this podcast, I'm a planner. I love spreadsheets. I mean, even my regular day job is very analytical and logistics and planning and being organized. So, a lot of things just lined up, and we sold our home. We got a realtor down here. We bought a townhome without ever having seen it in person, which I don't necessarily recommend. It was a little scary, but it was okay. I will say, one, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We're down here and we love it. We don't love where we moved to. I'll just be really honest. We enjoy the area. We love Disney. We love being close. If we could do it all over again, I do wish we'd spent a little bit more time maybe trying to find where to live.
Mhm.
But it got us here. We're here. It's okay. But we do hope to maybe move into a different area eventually, and not it's okay.
Well, I mean, nothing's permanent, right? I mean,
Right,
there's
right.
nothing that says you have to stay there for 20 years. I mean,
Yeah,
you go there and you're closer, and now you just kind of move around and improve. And no, that's great advice for everybody, because I know everybody, not everybody, but I think a lot of folks do have this in the back of their mind. But I mean, it's just such a daunting proposition, right? I mean, We moved in 2019. I mean, we only moved 17 miles from our old house. God, I swore like we were done with that move, 17 miles. And I was like, we are never doing this again. I mean, we seriously did not go that far. I was like, I can't even imagine driving, going, it'd be 1,000 miles for us. But no. But I mean, if it's your dream, So anyway, so you guys did something super unique. You took a staycation, now that you're in Orlando. And I think this is what people worry about, though. This is kind of like the yin and the yang of this whole thing. I want to move to Orlando. And the question people always, I guess I could ask you this up front, because you've been there for a couple of years at this point. People are worried that if you live in Orlando, you're going to lose the magic of the vacation. And I think that if you do something like we're going to talk about here right now, take a staycation, that could maybe be the antidote to losing the magic. I mean, it's for me though, I'm worried about it myself because like I love the going to the airport. I love the pack. Obviously you pack because you went to the temporary, but I like now I love flying. Ironically enough, I wouldn't fly forever until about 8 years ago, but I like the whole going to the airport. I know it's stupid. A lot of people don't like that, but I love the whole thing. I like getting the Burger King at the airport, all that good stuff. But is you did the staycation, so how did this idea come around? Is you wanted to go back to having that experience that you had pre moving to Florida? Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah. For us, it is changed. Now, there's no doubt about that. It's a different experience living here. Yes, there's the day to day. And I think that's why we still do the staycations. This was our most extended so far, but we have stayed on property here and there. And it's because when you're living at home and you have to come home after a day at the park or after going to dinner or whatever, it's just different. And we don't go as often as I thought maybe we would, or, we don't experience a full day in the park like we used to when we would come for vacation. So when we're staying on property, it just feels like a vacation again. Whereas if we were to want to go several days in a row, well, I have work, my husband has work. And so really when we do the times where we go stay on property, it feels like a vacation again. And we still we love it. I know we'll probably talk about it. My husband's a cast member now and has been for almost a year now. And for us, I kind of feel like I get the best of both worlds because I get his discount and some of the perks of him being a cast member, and I don't have to be a cast member. I get to enjoy it from that angle. But he also, I mean, he still loves it. He still wants to go. We're on property almost once a week or so. Once a week, once every other week outside of his job. And it hasn't changed in that respect for us. We still love going. We still love staying on property. And I didn't really think that would change, and it hasn't. So
that's good. That's good to hear. And I think the staycation is such a great idea because you're right. If you're just going as a day guest, I would imagine, and then coming home and then you got to get the mail, you got to, do the work stuff when you hit back home 7:00 in the evening and, you're going to go after work. I mean, it just, you never escape the hectic daily grind, right? I mean, you might go to the park for a few hours and ride some rides, but when you're on vacation, you get to go to the hotel, you get to go out to eat. People are taking care of you.
Yep.
That's vacation. And that's why I go to, because every time I go to Walt Disney World, I'm 1,000 miles from my house, so I don't have any of the, and somebody's always covering for me. So I'm off work. I make sure I don't work when I'm there. That's the only time I don't work is when I'm down there. And that's exactly it. So let's talk about this trip. So you go down and you stayed at, you used awesome cast member discounts, which I mean, cast members, they definitely deserve these. That's awesome that you guys got these. You stayed at Contemporary and Coronado, 2 awesome resorts. So you were down there in March. So just kind of walk us through this. Where'd you go first?
Yeah. So the first few days, and so I will preface this by saying we're not normally split stay people. I don't love a split stay. I like to get into my hotel room and unpack, and I like to just be there the whole time. But it didn't really work that way this time. We wanted to we ended up seeing a discount for Contemporary club level, which we had never, we'd done club level one other time through a strange set of circumstances that I won't go into. We didn't book that. We ended up getting kind of upgraded. But anyways, when we saw the club level come on the cast member website for the discount, I just couldn't pass it up. So we stayed there for the first few nights and then moved over to Coronado. So this was our first time at Contemporary, though, in a club level room, and it was wonderful. Club level is so wonderful. You know, I've heard people ask on different shows, like, is it worth it? Is it? And no, for the money, it's probably not worth it if you look at it in a dollars and cents type manner, but it's so nice. I don't know that I'd want to do it for more than a few nights either. I know some people do it for a whole week. For us, that might just be a little too much. It's really nice though to have for just a few nights from what we've seen.
Yeah, I agree. It's a splurge. You know, that's the way I look at it. If you want to treat yourself, it's great for like a honeymoon. It's great for an anniversary. It's great for a special trip. Would
Yeah.
you get it for, just going down in July like we do? I wouldn't say so, but I'm super practical, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if it was, my wife and I's, 25th anniversary, yeah, I might get it. I might do a split though. You know what I'm saying? Like this would be me justifying it, right? I might do a split where we have club level 2 or 3 nights. And then just go get a regular room at Coronado, just like that would be my way to justify kind of balance things out. But and they just redid actually that club level over at Contemporary because we did a tour of that last fall. I think it was very nice. Okay, so walk us through some of the stuff you did because you guys were there. I did see, and I love this because you said you're crazy. I think you're smart. You work out every morning in the gym down at the Contemporary. God bless you. I love that. We're kindred spirits. Good stuff. That's way to get the day started. I love that. You put that in your notes. So I just had to say that. That's how, by the way, how's the Contemporary gym? I love the ones over at the, Coronado.
Yeah. So funnily enough, the Contemporary gym I don't think it's very good. It's okay. It's in a weird little, like, there's no windows. It's just tucked away. The ceiling feels a little low. Everything's kind of cramped. Of all the gyms we've seen on property, it is, I'll be honest, it's not the best, but it got the job done. So yeah, we did go to the gym every morning. We just don't feel the same when we don't work out. So
I like it. I throw it in there because I saw that. I was like, yes, my people. Okay. So you guys get there, you settled in and walk us through some of the highlights of your time there.
Yeah. So we stayed home on that first morning and just waited for the text to let us know that our room was ready. So we were all ready to go. So we packed up the car and went over and, for anyone who maybe doesn't know or hasn't ever stayed in club level, they typically will have a separate check-in area for you. So we told the people when we were unloading the car that we were staying club level. So they told us where to go. So we got up there and the cast members were wonderful. They kind of showed us around, gave us the lay of the land, so to say, like showed us the atrium club level area where the food was and just kind of told us how it all worked. And then she took us to our room and showed us the room and made sure we were all settled in and said, as soon as you're ready, come back out, grab something to eat, grab something to drink if you want. So we did just that. We went straight and got 2 glasses of champagne. It was kind of the middle of the day, but kicked off everything in the right way. So got to enjoy. Now we had a lake view room. We've had a theme park view room too, which is awesome with my husband, Brian, with his discount. I don't even think we had a choice, to be honest. I think it was just club level. And so we really didn't know which one we were getting until we got there. So we enjoyed our view of the park for a little bit and just kind of settled in. And then we had decided beforehand. I'm a big planner. Like I do a rough idea of what we're going to do. Like I'll plan breakfast, what park we're going to go to, and then usually dinner. And the rest of the days is kind of just whatever comes along. We're not big planners outside of that.
My meals in my park. That's good enough.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
So our first night, we had planned to do what we had never done before, and that was a monorail crawl.
Nice.
I got the idea at some point during the planning, of course, and told my husband, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds great. Let's do that." So we had never been to the Enchanted Rose or Tambu Lounge. Or actually, now that I'm talking about this, we'd never been to any of these lounges before. But Enchanted Rose was the one that I was the most looking forward to going to. So we went straight there to start off the evening. And we went from lounge to lounge and had a good little time. We tried checking with Trader Sam's. I remember the wait was something ridiculous, like 2.5 hours. And granted, we didn't go right when it opened, like a lot of people say to. We just checked when we got to the Polynesian, and we were like, nope, let's go to the other lounge that's by Ohana. So we went there, and then we ended back at the Contemporary, and we did the Steakhouse 71 lounge, which was wonderful. I will say, and I put in my notes, I don't know if they've changed it since this time, but the check-in for the lounge at Steakhouse 71, I really wish they would monitor that a little better. It was really chaotic. In fact, not to go negative because I won't, but like someone kind of cut in front of us and stole some seats that should have been ours. And another guest actually like spoke up and said, these people were waiting.
Oh,
It wasn't
you can speak the truth. Everybody listening to this podcast has probably been to Walt Disney World a couple of times, and we've all seen it happen, and it's probably happened to us too. So I'm just saying, yeah.
And I just wish they monitored it a little bit more. I get that it's first come, first serve, but if they had a cast member to kind of help guide folks, that would have been a little better.
Yeah. I mean, you want to give everybody a positive experience, and there's requiem, there's rules, like let's take care of that. But you ended the night with dessert and fireworks. I mean,
we did, yeah. Which will be a running theme while we're here at the Contemporary. We did. We went back up to the club level after we had our dinner, which was great, by the way. The burger at Steakhouse 71 is my husband is a burger snob. He has his favorites on property, and that he would put that at maybe the top of the list. So anybody looking for a good burger,
I've had it too. It's awesome, and their whole menu, even breakfast, is just rocking there. That is a hidden gem. If you're looking for an ADR, Steakhouse 71 every time. Okay, so next day, I like next day though. You guys, little breakfast in the club level, kick it off. Smart.
Yeah.
You guys went to Cast Connection, rock on because you can. That's so cool. So give us a little hint about what that's like for folks that have no idea.
Yeah, so I had never been, this was our first time. We've been a few times since then. But Cast Connections, for those who may not know, is a place, it's on property, but only cast members can go. And it's kind of hit or miss. You never know what you're going to see. I guess it's sort of like the Outlet, maybe a little bit, in that you just never know what's going to be there.
But it's better than the outlets. The outlets are just.
It's not chaotic. I'll say we've been a few times, and it's been a little busy once or twice, but it's never too busy. So yeah, so they have everything from like damaged furniture from the resorts. They have treadmills that I guess they take out of the gyms, which is crazy. And then they have merchandise. They even have food for cast members. So they have discounted, like, even like produce and fresh goods and things like that. So for cast members, it's at a discounted price. So we had never been. And so we took the opportunity while we had several days off to go over there and just kind of see what it was all about. I didn't go crazy in there or anything, but we definitely did buy some merchandise. I think this was March, so I think I bought some wine glasses from the Food and Wine Festival from the previous year that were like super discounted, and I don't remember what else we bought that day, but yeah, it was a fun experience.
Yep, I went in 2002 with a friend that was a cast member. Let me go in just to see it, and I got a little damaged name tag that has Mike. But my favorite character had to be Aladdin because that was what was on the name tag. So I'm like, I guess Aladdin's my favorite character, but I got a name tag. So
that's hilarious.
It was the coolest thing. So you did a little shopping over at Disney Springs this day, caught a movie, and then California Grill that night. I mean, again, taking advantage of where you are. And I mean, think about this. Signature meal right there on top of your resort. You're staying club level at the Contemporary. Oh man, you're living life. I love this.
It was amazing. We love California Grill. It is one of our favorites. Since we've lived here, I think we've been like 5 or 6 times, which can get a little pricey, but it's one of our favorites. So yeah, we went there, and I put in my notes here. So this was our third time, and for the third time in a row, and even once since then, we've had the same server. And I don't know if it's just we should ask him at some point. His name is Jim. He's amazing, by the way. He's got I forget what they call it, the blue name tag, the legacy, I think, cast member. He is so wonderful, and I'm so glad that we've been getting him for the past few times. But I don't know if they've started coordinating that somehow, or I don't know. It's so strange for 4 times in a row. I just can't think that it's a coincidence, but anyways, we had Jim, the server, and he was wonderful. And yeah, so California Grill was great as ever. And then we once again ended our night with fireworks from the lounge.
I love it. Was Happily Ever After back then, or was it still Enchantment? I can't remember.
Oh my God. To be honest, I don't know.
Who cares? It was fireworks and you were having champagne, or you were
exactly.
in club level. Who cares? Seriously.
Exactly.
At that point, yeah, when you're at the club level, who cares? Yeah, or top of the world lounge, who cares? They're fireworks. They're awesome from that distance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. I love it. Okay. So the next day you kick it off, breakfast, club lounge, club level lounge. I mean, again, what you do when you stay club level. Then you guys over to Epcot, Flower and Garden, kick it off. One of the most beautiful festivals. Now, here's the thing. You guys are locals. You guys have green all the time. Those of us that are from like Missouri, Scotty G, Lord help him, from up in Michigan, we haven't seen anything green for like 6 months. So when we get down there, we go crazy when we see like a flower or just anything that has chlorophyll. We're pumped. You guys don't get that kind of kick, but we do. So you guys get over there. So give us your highlights there of your time over at Epcot on this day. Did you guys have some fun?
Oh yeah, it was great. So Flower and Garden, I think, had just started. It was the beginning of that festival, which Flower and Garden is I don't know. I really like Festival of the Arts, but I like Flower and Garden as well. And I like that there's a little bit of a break in between the two. But anyway, so we went over there, and I know we went into the seas for quite a while, which we don't hardly ever do like on a regular basis. But I think because we had more time in the parks this day and nothing to get back to at home, we hung out in the seas for a while. And every time we go, I leave thinking, why don't we come here more often? Because I just love it. I love seeing the fish and everything in the aquarium.
Yeah, they should make you take some kind of a test about manatees. You know, being somebody who had to move to Florida, that should be part of your like immigration to the state test or something.
Oh gosh, okay. I'd have to study for that.
The sea cow, I think is what it's called. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
But then we went over to the butterfly landing, which we had never done before, and all the times we've been, we just never made it a point to do that. So that was really, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. I hope they bring that back for this next year. So just a little plug for the butterfly landing.
I like it too. I always go through there. Yeah, I love it.
And then we had food. I will say one of the highlights from the food booths was the chicken and waffle.
Yes.
I love the brie and pastry, but my husband, in fact, we just went for food and wine a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I need to get my chicken and waffle. And I said, wrong festival. I'm sorry. It's not. It's in the Flower and Garden, not the food and wine. So he was a little bummed, but he loved it. It was great.
You mentioned, you just brought back one of the other things you have in your notes here is the corn on the cob. I had that twice during this festival. The one time, man, the butter got all wrecked me because it had some kind of topping on it. It was like, I don't even know if it was butter. It was like some kind of, it was runny, whatever. It was super good though. But I got it all over my shirt, my shorts. I didn't realize it was leaking like down on me till it was all over me. And I'm in the middle of Future World.
God, it's one of my favorites. Yeah,
I love it. It was worth it. I didn't care. I was like, I'll throw away my clothes. It was that good. I had two. Yeah. You're eating good. Chicken and waffles, corn on the cob, and hot dogs. I like the way you eat. Not fancy, just good stuff. That's good stuff there.
Yep.
What else you guys do that day? You went to a concert that night, it looks like.
Yep. So we had booked the Eat to the Beat package to see Chris Daughtry, who some may remember from American Idol feels like a million years ago, but we liked him when he was on the show. And he's actually from the Greensboro, North Carolina area, which is where we were from prior to moving here. I can't remember if I've said that, but so we have a little connection to him. And so we did the Eat to the Beat package at Spice Road Table, which was really good. We really like Spice Road. I know some people have started coming around to it and figuring out that it's a good little restaurant. So we went there with the food package. That I felt like it was plenty of food, and even the dessert. Like both of us got a dessert sampler, which I was surprised about, and there were like 3 normal sized desserts in this dessert platter that we both were able to get. So plenty of food at Spice Road. And then we went and did the concert with Chris. The biggest thing for me with the concert was like, it was so short.
Those concerts are super short. Well, I mean, to be honest though, for some of the festivals, the people they bring in only have like 2 hits. You know what I'm saying? So I get why they're short. But yeah, some people have enough songs they could go for a long time. You're right, they are kind of short. Well, I think they do like 4 or 5 shows though.
I just was not anticipating it being quite as short. Like it was great. I enjoyed it, not complaining. It was basically free, with your entrance into the park. But yeah, he got done with his 3rd or 4th song, and I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Well, great.
You've been great, Epcot. We'll see you next year. You're like, what, man? I just sat down.
But it was fun. I would recommend the concerts to anyone if you really want to see the person playing. I think it's a good deal.
Oh yeah, even the cover bands they have down there are a lot of fun. Like I've just a lot of times I'm just happenstance. I don't pay attention to who's there during what festival, but anytime I'm walking through World Showcase and I hear somebody playing, I'll grab a dessert or a Coke Zero and sit down and watch. I mean, you're like you say, they don't last long, like you're there 20-25 minutes in and out, you get some music and you're out. Yeah. So now this night you did end up with fireworks, but you weren't in the club level lounge. You made it to the Polynesian beach with some Dole Whips. I like the way you guys roll.
Nice. My husband got it in his head after the concert that he really wanted a spiked Dole Whip. And so I had told him that one of the booths have it. So we, booked it over there and they were out, but he had it in his head that is what he wanted. So I said, okay, well, let's go over to the Polynesian. So that's what we did. We went over to the Poly and we got his spiked Dole Whip and we watched the fireworks again, but we watched them from the Poly Beach, which again, a new experience for us. At all the times we've been, we've never seen the fireworks from there. So that was cool.
Very cool. And you could look over across like that. That's our place, right?
Yeah.
Across the water. In fact, that big hotel. That's our home for right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next day again is your checkout day at the Contemporary. You say you love hanging out on your balcony. And see, I've never stayed at the Contemporary yet. This is one of the few hotels. Actually, I think it might be the only hotel I've never stayed at Walt Disney World. Scott stayed there last year, I think, and he got a theme park. I think it was Thanksgiving last year. He got theme park view, a room where he had obviously the balcony looking over the resort. He said the thing he loved the most about the entire vacation was sitting on his balcony, just looking over at the Magic Kingdom. He said, I loved it every morning. You said the same thing in your notes, ironically enough, and you compared it to your veranda on the Disney Dream. I think that is such a great comparison because I love my verandas on my cruise ships. Like I will not sail without a veranda because I just love looking at the ocean, looking at Castaway Cay, looking at Cozumel, Grand Cayman, wherever we are. I just like looking at, kind of just relaxing with a Coke Zero and a cookie or something. It's just, so that's a great comparison. I like the way you said that.
I love a balcony. I do. And if we ever have one, I'm out there for a good portion of the day if I can be. And yeah, the veranda, I feel the exact same way. I don't know that I could do a cruise without a veranda. We've done a cruise on an inside stateroom and it was just not the same. I felt claustrophobic, to be honest. And I love a balcony and I love a veranda. So, yeah.
I mean, I can do an inside if I have to, but yeah, not, come on now. This pirate needs some fresh air. Okay. So this was your transition day and your split, and you've already stated earlier, you're not a split stay person.
Not really.
So how do you handle this day and how did it unfold? Because this is that day where, And the good news is it looks like in your notes, you got your notification early that your room at Coronado was ready. That can
Mhm.
be the holdup when you're like, you're waiting for the second room to be ready. It's like
Mhm.
3, 4, 5 o'clock. At least you weren't up against that, it looks like. But tell us how this day unfolds, because that transition day is always kind of challenging.
Yeah, yeah. So of course we have our car, and we've done split stays like in the past before we moved, and I think we've done it both ways where we've hauled all our stuff over and we've had Bell Services do it. We really like to have control of our stuff, so we called Bell Services and had them take it down to the car, but then we took everything from the room over to Coronado. And like you said, we were lucky. We got the text fairly early saying that the room was ready. So we went over and unloaded everything again over at Coronado. And we were in the casitas section, which we'd never stayed in before. Love the tower. But again, we were working with cast member discount. So we just kind of took the best deal that came along. And I don't regret it though. I think I prefer the tower truly. But I think Casitas is my close second
It's
over
nice.
at Coronado. Yeah.
So let me just ask you this. I know that you guys, oh, you did. Okay. It was on the next day, because the Casitas has its own little workout area. The tower has obviously a larger gym now, but
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, this was the only moderate or value that had a workout area. And it was that little place in the Casitas, which was in the area that you were staying in, which is
Yep.
why I always request the Casitas when I stay there if I can.
Yeah. It was great. We were very close to the gym over at the Casitas. So it was nice.
So, what the rest of the day though? It looks like you guys just kind of hung out there. You saw Daisy in the lobby. She's kind of got a
Yeah.
character hanging out at your hotel, and little Three Bridges. I didn't go to Three Bridges when I was down there a couple weeks ago. I know I swore to Ian from Pennsylvania from the Disney Moms, or not Disney, the Planned Disney panel. I told her I'd go there. I bailed out after halftime. I was going to do first half of the football game at Rick's, which I did. Second half of the football game, I was tired. I went to bed because I'm
Oh,
not a Lions fan. Scott is. I was like, dude, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And because we had to be volunteering at 7:30 to give kids the world. And I was getting up and running before. So I had to get up like at 4. So I didn't go to Scott went to Three Bridges. You said you loved it, and everybody says they love it. So now I'm kind of regretting life that I didn't go to Three Bridges. So it was good.
we love it so much. And I made a point to go on this trip, especially because they don't do ADRs. And so I always get a little nervous and we've never tried going when we haven't stayed at Coronado, because I'm always afraid we're going to drive up and tell them that we want to eat there and they're going to turn us away. So we've never tried coming to the restaurant when we haven't been staying at Coronado. But yeah, I think this was, gosh, we've been at least 4 or 5 times, and it's one of our favorites actually on all the property.
I'll have to make it happen. I don't know. I love the way though you didn't end this night with fireworks. You ended with Netflix. That's what happens when you don't stay at on Seven Seas Lagoon.
Yeah, we remembered something that we wanted to watch off our next Netflix queue, so we went back to the room and did the casting onto the TV there in the room and watched something off of our list.
I cracked up when I saw that. That was so funny. Like I'm going to use that with my guests when I'm working at the Magic for Less. Like, what's the difference between a deluxe and a moderate? Well, deluxe, you can end your night watching Happily Ever After. At a moderate, you can end your night watching Stranger Things. I don't know. I don't know why that's my sense of humor. Okay, so the next day, you guys did your little workout over in the Casitas gym. Topolino's Terrace breakfast. Let me just say, hardest ADR to get Walt Disney World right now. So how was it?
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, we had been a couple of years ago, back when the menu was such that they would basically let you order kind of like a cruise ship, like as many entrees as you wanted. And so that was our first and only experience. So I'd kind of been stalking the reservation boards for another Topolino's. I'd look occasionally because that was one that I really wanted and wasn't able to get before we came. And lo and behold, I can't remember what day it was, but at some point, just a couple of days or maybe even the day before, one popped up. So I took it, and it was still good. I mean, the food is still really good. Our server was not great.
Yeah.
She was not the most attentive, and she was just okay. I, I think I would feel differently if they were like, now that they're back to the a la carte. I wish they just charged a la carte prices.
Right.
I don't love that they're charging so much money and they don't allow you like they used to with the food, which if they were wasting food, I get it. I don't think people should be wasteful and order things they're not going to eat. But like I said in my notes, I don't know if they've changed since then, but at the time my husband wanted his entree and then he asked for like a scrambled egg on the side. I think he wanted something real carb heavy and thought, I'd love like a little bit of extra protein. Can I get a scrambled egg on the side and we'll pay for it, whatever it is. And they wouldn't do it, which I just thought was
crazy. I mean, an egg, you know what I'm saying? Like an egg is like $1. You know what I'm saying? Like this, and Topolino's Terrace is so nice. It's a fancy upscale place. And, at Disney, the guest is always correct. And, not that you're going to give the guest everything, but I mean, it's an egg at an upscale restaurant. That to me, it's like common sense has to win out. And a lot of times I think it could be just inexperienced cast members. Sometimes I don't think that the cast member's heart's in the wrong place. I think it's inexperience.
Maybe. And maybe that was it. And, we didn't push it. We were just, when she said no, we were like, okay. And just went on with the meal. So.
That's exactly how I do. I'm just like, well, you win some, you lose some, I'll have a million other breakfasts in my life. And this one wasn't.
We were not starving by any stretch of the imagination. So we were okay.
But after I work out though, I'm like, I just want to eat an egg. I see I do get a little hangry, but yeah, I get you. So you guys were there on the Skyliner. You said you checked out the Riv, beautiful, but pricey. 100%. I'm with you there. God, I love the Riv. But I'm a Riviera dream. My daughter, Mallory, 15, always wants to stay at the Riv, but she's got a dad on a Pop Century budget. So we get the Skyliner, but that's about it. But you guys went to the studios and it looks like you had a good time over there for the most part. Did a lot, it looks like.
Yeah. So this was actually our official 15-year wedding anniversary was March the 8th. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So we went to Hollywood Studios for most of the day. We were there for quite a while. That and Animal Kingdom, we don't go as often to those two parks. Even though we live here, we go to Epcot 4 times as much as we do any of the other parks. But Hollywood Studios was one we hadn't been to very much. So we spent most of the day over there. Did a lot of the rides. I do miss the Great Movie Ride, but I love Mickey and Minnie's.
Me too. I miss the Great Movie Ride a lot. Yeah.
I love it. And we did the Frozen sing-along I had heard, and actually I think it might be because of your podcast, we had heard you guys talk about it and how it was kind of a sleeper hit.
It is.
And so I'd been telling my husband, we need to do it. They say it's really fun and it's funny and it's got humor. And he was like, okay. And literally within a few minutes in, he was like, this is so good. I'm so
good. I was like, oh my God, I hope you liked it because I love it. But I mean, I have a weird sense of humor, but I just think it's like it's such a well done production. It's tight. It's like 20 minutes. And I have 2 daughters, right? So I remember when Mallory was running around in Anna and Elsa dresses. And so now she's 15 and knows everything. And we had an argument just a couple hours ago about she needs to tell us where she is after school instead of just going to her friend's house and not telling us. So she already thinks she's 26. But when I'm down there for solo trips, I'll see the little girls in the Elsa dresses and, Elsa pops out of the smoke and they lose their minds. And it just takes me, boom, right back to when she was like 6, so I can get that. It makes me happy to see the show. And you're right. There's a lot of humor in it and fun. I love it.
We loved it too. We were so glad that we did it.
It's what Disney does well. I hope they never move away from that stuff just for thrill rides. It's good storytelling. Okay. So I got to ask you about this though. You guys went back, kind of cleaned up Toledo over at Coronado again, taking advantage of where you are. You say this might be your favorite restaurant at Walt Disney World. We never talk about it. I've never been here.
I almost want to keep it a secret, but then again, I want people to go to it because it is so good. I would say between California Grill and Toledo, I don't know if I could, it'd be like choosing between children if I had them because they're so good. I love them both. Toledo is hands down on my top 5 list. Definitely. I think this was maybe our 4th or 5th time. In fact, my parents were visiting us a few months ago, and that was like the one restaurant I wanted to take them to. I love it. It's so great.
So what is it about it? Atmosphere, the food, the service, it's just kind of the whole picture with Barcelona Lounge for pre-dinner drinks. It's kind of the whole deal.
To me, it's everything. I love the tower at Coronado. I think it's beautiful. I love everything they've done over there. I love the colors. We had never done the Barcelona Lounge before. So since this was our anniversary, we, like you said, we did pre-dinner drinks down at the lounge. And I remember one of the servers there, he was great. I wanted to order something that I wasn't really sure if I would like. And he, quickly said, well, let me make it for you. And if you don't like it, I'll find you something else, I promise. But I did love what he made. So, Toledo, if you don't know, it's on the top of the tower at Coronado Springs, and the service is great. I love the type of food too, like the Spanish cuisine. They do some tapas type stuff if you want it. They have Brussels sprouts on the menu that are amazing. They have shishito peppers. I don't know if you know or if you've ever had shishitos. I know a lot of people,
and I'm not having Brussels sprouts either, by the way, no matter how cool you make them sound.
they're so good. But yeah, Toledo, everything about it. We had a really good server. We've never had a bad experience there. We've been several times and we absolutely love it.
That's why I love this show, though. You've given so many great things to think about for folks that are going down soon. I love getting people's perspectives. That's, trip reports are the best because somebody right now is jotting down, even driving down the road today on a Monday, like, I got to think about Toledo. Like somebody's never heard of it and they're thinking about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I slipped my mind because in Three Bridges too, probably. Okay. So now this next day, I bet you most of our guests don't do this. First of all, you guys didn't work out. Nice. And that drove me crazy, but okay. You guys decided you're going to swing by your house because you kind of had collected so much stuff. And you said you didn't stay long, but you had to just drop kind of a little Amazon delivery self-service thing, drop your stuff. And then you guys went to Epcot.
Yeah. I'll be honest. The going home was not my choice. I was outvoted between the two of us. My husband really wanted to come bring some stuff home, and I feel like he wanted to do something else here, and I
there had to be some other reason. I'm thinking because he could throw it in the car.
Yeah. So
I don't know what it is. Who knows? Yeah.
He wanted to come home, so I said, okay, fine. Although I will say we're doing another staycation in a couple of months, and I've already told him we are not going home this time. It takes me out of it. I don't want to go home, so just don't even think about it. We're not doing it this time.
So are people hardcore, like back in the day, I would have never gone like to Target. I would have never left property to go to Walgreens. I would not have. We talk about the bubble. I was dead serious about the bubble like 5 years ago. I would not leave property.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a purist anymore. Like I will go to Publix and grab a pub sub because I'm in love. But yeah, I'm with you though. I try not to leave property. So I thought that was pretty funny. Now you guys went over there, did some Future World stuff at Epcot. I love that you say though, excited that Soarin' over California coming back. And it's actually back now, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it starts Friday, right? The 22nd, I think, is the day that it.
By the time this show comes out.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Remember, we live in the future on this podcast.
Okay. Yes. So it's back. It's back. Go do it. But yeah, that I think of all the D23 stuff, I might be the most excited for Soarin' over California to come back. I'm so excited.
I love it. You're one of us so many ways. That's so cool. And so this night you freestyled it. No ADR for dinner. Just headed over to Disney Springs and ended up with a little, looks like Blaze pizza. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, cheap and good.
And as people can tell, we certainly splurged a few times between California Grill and Toledo. So this night we went over to Blaze, and it was our first time having gone there, although we've been back several times since. So it's become a local favorite for us. But yeah, we went to Blaze and we loved it. We loved it. It was, like I said, the seating was a little chaotic. maybe that's a theme with me now that I'm thinking about this with the Steakhouse 71. I want someone to tell me where to sit, maybe. But
I think Blaze is chaotic, like in general, almost all the time. Like even ordering, like that place just seems chaotic. Like it's good pizza and it's cheap, but it seems chaotic, like all over. Like the ordering, the sitting, the making your sodas. Every time I've been there, it's been wild. Like it's just like get your elbows ready, like in those roll. I mean,
I will say mobile order. Order ahead, because a few weeks ago we went to a movie and we ordered food and picked it up on our way out of Disney Springs. The AMC theater is now our home theater, so we ordered ahead. It was ready when we picked it up, and we went home and we ate Blaze for dinner. So it was great.
Nice. That's a great call. Okay, this next day, I'm looking ahead here. I just want to call this the double dip day because you did a double feature at Disney Springs, saw 2 movies, and you went to Ale and Compass twice in a day, which I'm going to play this for my wife because she does not like to let me go to a restaurant twice in a week because she'll say, nope, we can't go there. Every once in a while, she'll let me go to LS Teca twice in a week, but rarely. So you guys got to, so tell us about how this day unfolded, because you did a double feature at Disney Springs in the middle, but you started off with Ale and Compass breakfast, which, speaking of hidden secrets, one of the best.
Definitely agree. So we started this morning and we didn't have a breakfast reservation. I had kind of planned for us to maybe go to, I think Barcelona Lounge does some like breakfast sandwiches and things. So that was kind of what I had in mind. But I think my husband said, hey, like we haven't gone to Ellen Compass. Can we maybe go over there? And we were able to get a reservation. So we went over there. We've been several times. And the way that we ended up back there for dinner is my husband loves an old fashioned.
Yep.
Burgers and old fashions are like 2 things that he'll get almost anywhere he sees them on a menu. And when we were there for breakfast, he was tempted to order one because he loves their old fashioned so much. And I said, I don't know how some people do vacation. We're just not big drinkers in the morning or during the day. We drink with our dinner at night. And I know him. I know he wouldn't have done well with a drink like that early in the morning. So I said, if we can come back for dinner, how about if I can get a dinner reservation between tonight and tomorrow night? Maybe we come back for dinner. And he said, okay, that sounds good. So that's what brought us back there for the evening.
That's a great compromise because he got his old fashioned and you got a good dinner because it's a great place to have dinner and breakfast.
Although I will say they would have made him the old fashioned for breakfast. He asked, and the server said, well, we'll do it if you want it. And I talked him out of it.
5 o'clock somewhere and you're on vacation. Yeah, but they would have. I mean,
I don't judge. I just know him. I know he would not have handled that very well.
I guarantee you I don't know what day Scotty G is listening to this podcast, but he is like, oh, I'm going to go over there and order me an old fashioned for breakfast. I would not get one for breakfast because I'm like y'all. Like if I had one early in the day, I'd be a mess. Like I don't drink very often, so when I do, like one old fashioned, and I'm like, I'm a mess. So if I started off like at 9 or 10 in the morning with an old fashioned, it would not be a good day. It'd be a struggle bus. Okay, so we're up to your last day. You guys start off, get over Disney Springs, brunch at CityWorks. Again, you're hitting all these little hidden gems. CityWorks is a great place to go.
Take it from the local, right?
Oh, man, doing it. Yeah.
CityWorks is great. If you haven't been for brunch, highly recommend. It's one of those that every time we've been for brunch, it's not very crowded. So I don't even think you need an ADR or a reservation most mornings that they do it. And they have a really great menu. I feel like the variety is there. And so, if you haven't been for brunch, highly recommend.
Then you went to Animal Kingdom to wrap up this staycation trip. And it says you've never been there since you moved to Orlando. So it's super interesting.
We're just not big Animal Kingdom fans, obviously. Like we like it, but just not like we like the other parks. So we have been at this point in time, we had been in Orlando for about a year and had not been over to Animal Kingdom the whole time. So that's where we spent our last day, which like I said, we like it. I guess it's just always when we're presented with the choice of where to go, it's just not going to be where we choose. So
yeah, we all got our likes and dislikes. Now Scotty G's yelling at his phone because that's his favorite theme park. I'm kind of the same way. If I have to skip a park, I do skip Animal Kingdom. Yeah. Then you wrapped everything up, Three Bridges one more time, and that was kind of it.
Yep. So, like you said before, like we do this no matter where we're staying. I like to take advantage of where we are and making it convenient. Because for us, I mean, I know some people don't mind trekking all over the place and park hopping and all that. That's just not our style. We really enjoy taking advantage of where we are, making the walk back to the room as easy as possible some nights. And so, yeah, we took advantage of Three Bridges once again and ended the night there. So it was great.
This is such a great idea though, to keep the magic going when you're local, because it's always on your news. Obviously, when you see the news, a lot of Disney stuff there. You're married to a cast member. You're immersed in it all the time. Where, in St. Louis, of course, I'm in it because of what I do for a living. And I'm always Disney Twitter and all that stuff because of just my fandom. But this is a great way to keep the magic alive of the vacation, of the being in the bubble. I love this. You're going to do this again. It looks like mid-November, you're going down you're going to get to do some, Brian, your husband's going to be in the Candlelight Processional Choir. I mean, what an honor. How cool will that be to see?
I'm so jealous.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so, jockey to be the star. I don't know how that works. So you guys get to do Jollywood Nights. I'm so excited for that. That looks like such a great event. Oh my gosh, I'd love to see that.
Me too. I'm excited.
We have to tell us how that all goes. Well, Shelley, great show today. What a different kind of trip report. And I'm so glad that I'm hearing that you moved to the magic, and I could just hear it in your voice. Like the magic is still alive. You still love it just as much, and you're doing it the right way. You could be a local, but it sounds like when you're on these staycations, you're not a local at that point. You're a vacationer. You're in the bubble. That makes me happy.
Yeah, we love it. All
right, wait, tell Brian, on behalf of all of us here on the show and our listeners, thank you for making the magic for all of us. We appreciate our cast member friends so very much, because without folks like them, we wouldn't get to do what we do.
Most definitely. Yes, I will tell him.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to today's show. Don't forget, our shows are brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney Vacation. Just swing by the website, themagicforless.com. No cost to you. Again, magicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That supports everything we do throughout the year. And thank you to our patrons. You guys allow us to put this show out 3, 4, 5 times a week. And you can support us starting at just $5 per month. Pretty simple. Just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You'll get that bonus show every week as well, called Mike in the Midwest. Give me a follow on the social media. Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter /X, whatever it's called this week, and Threads. I'd love to talk to you this week. And of course, we'll have the live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, in all the places: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Scott joins me. We open up the phone lines and we talk Disney. So join us and give us a call for that. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Wednesday with more of your listener questions. So for Shelley down in Orlando, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right, that was awesome. Good stuff.
Thank you. That was really fun. I've listened to you guys forever, like long, probably at least 10 or 12 years. So
oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That is awesome. I don't know what to say. I appreciate it, because I love doing the show. This is like my fun, when you get to be my age, you don't have a ton of hobbies. Like I used to play hockey. I used to play baseball, softball. Mm-hmm. This is it now. this and running, and running's about to wind down. So,
well, you guys do a great job. We enjoy it.
Well, thank you so much. And again, tell Brian we appreciate his role that he does, what he does for all of us, because again, without the cast members, man, we wouldn't have anything down there, and they're not compensated well enough. And I sure appreciate them.
Absolutely. I'll let him know for sure.
All right. If you ever need anything, give me a holler, and I hope to run into you sometime down there. It'd be great.
I hope so too.
All right. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.